I don't know whether we'll be able to complete today this canto. there are last, this is a fairly long canto, but then I thought we'll finish this canto before the darshan. Yeah, no, we can't do that. Still, darshan next Tuesday is available for darshan. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a very kind of a significant canto, a crucial canto. The entire crux of existence is kind of quintessensed in this presentation. The failure of life and the problem of life divine, life supreme here in this existence. The life as it is here seems to have no issue, no conclusion, no achievement at all. Life came with great gusto, with great vibrancy, with great dynamism, with great hopes and expectations. But the moment she entered into matter, she found herself almost helpless. What she wanted to do, what actually she wanted to do, that she was not able to achieve. Not that she has not worked out miracles in matter. She did. Something wonderful has happened in the world of matter. Surely something has happened. But that is not a great consolation for her. That is not a real satisfaction for her. She came with a different idea altogether here to change the whole world altogether and bring all those beautiful things of life up there here. But the resistance, the opposition, the conditions of matter were such that she was not able to achieve all those things. That is the issue here. Now, why this has happened, what are the consequences of that, how this can be resolved, that is the yogic conundrum for Ashwapati. And he has to discover and find out how one can get out of it and move, take things forward. His conviction, his inner faith, his aspiration is that there has to be here life supreme, life divine. That is a must. It must happen. It is a kind of a given. It has to happen. Why it did not happen? Then all those details he has to see and explore and tackle them in what way they can be sort of sorted out, you see. So that is the central point in this canto here, in the greatness of life, but then ultimately she succumbs to matter's law and then suffers death, and as long as there is death, there is no hope for life to bring all those glories here. As long as there is death, there is bound to be falsehood. As long as there is death, there is bound to be falsehood. Actually, the mother asked the question, which came first? Death came first or falsehood came first? In the agenda she has asked that question, which came first? And the answer is, it is death which has come first. And as a result of that, then came falsehood. So if you want to remove falsehood from here, if you want to establish truth here, the line of approach, the way in which you have to tackle is remove death. Remove death. Then only all that thing can happen. The law of truth then can get established. And unless that law of truth is established here, there is absolutely no hope of life supreme, of life divine. So that is the central issue of the whole of Savitri, I will say. And then he keeps out kind of unfolding other things. So these first few 100 pages of Savitri are sort of highlighting, are focusing on the problem of mortal creation, And then the rest is how to tackle and how things have to be worked out. Savitri will come and all those things later on. Now, so at this point what we have arrived at is here, there is, as far as life is concerned in this matter, so a sense of limit. There is a sense of limit. See, the beauty is she has masteries. She has got command. She can bring certain issues. Sense of mastery is there in her. But then there is a limit also. Nowhere assured content. There is content or peace, but it is not assured here in this existence. All depth and beauty. There is depth and beauty in her work, but then there is no issue out of that. Wisdom is there, but it lacks, it does not give freedom to the spirit. Wisdom is there, but it cannot give freedom. Means as long as she is in the world of matter, that wisdom is helpless and cannot make the spirit free. And unless the spirit is free from this material bondage, it cannot establish its own law, its own rule, its own governance, its own potentialities, its own possibilities, cannot come into expression. Cannot come into expression. So spirit is freedom. In fact, that is what the Canto says. Ashwati has the soul's release from ignorance. Soul's release from ignorance is okay. That is the first condition. But beyond soul's release, there has to be spirit's freedom. Spirit should be able to do whatever it wants to do. But in the material condition, there is a bondage, and those conditions have to be kind of resolved, removed. You see. A wisdom is there, masteries are there, content and peace is there, depth and beauty, they are there, but yet she is incapable of doing what she wants to do. Why? What is the position therefore? An old and faded charm had now her face. What she has got now, she is looking like an old haggard lady, you see, at the moment here. And faded charm, the charm with which she has come, the charm, the beauty, the mastery which she is there, that is no more there now. Now her face. And palette for her, for him, her quick and curious lore. And for Ashwapati, well, whatever lore is there, whatever wisdom is there, whatever beauty is there, they are sufficient. They are very pallid, very pale things. His wise soul, Ashwapati's wise soul, asks a deeper joy than her. What she can give, what she can offer, that is not sufficient for his soul, for his spirit, for his work. You see, out of her daedal lines, he sought escape. Therefore, out of this complex network, this web of her activities, this mesh which he has created here, he wants to get out of it. Out of her daedal lines, he sought escape. He wants to get out of it, escape from it. Where? But he cannot. He is kind of entangled in this mesh of life here, in this network of life here. And there is no gate of horn nor ivory. He does not see the gate of ivory, he does not see the gate of horn, nor there is an escape route to the postern for spiritual side. He does not see any way out at all from this mess which is present here at the moment. Here is what we saw last time, daedal line, gate of horn. Well, the point is, he sees these complexities, he sees these difficulties and all that. Would he still like to escape through the gate of ivory? He neither finds gate of horn nor gate of ivory. If he finds the gate of horn, wonderful. Something is realized, the gate of horn. But would he like to pass through the gate of ivory? Surely not. But he says that the conditions are that neither the gate of illusion is there, nor the gate of truth is there. He cannot escape at all. Means he is kind of trapped in this mesh, you see. Now he can escape through the back door and run away from here. He is kind of caught in that thing. There was no issue from that dream-like space, no concern, no way out to come out of this thing. Our being must move eternally through time. Now he is generalizing, although this is the experience of Ashwapati, he is generalizing, look, we mortals have to go through this whole process. We are in this and we cannot help it. Our being must move eternally through time, through the process of time. go in the steps of time, walk in the spaces of time all the while. Our being must move eternally through time, eternally, because there is no way of out. The way the time would like you to be carried forward, you accept that and move along with that. If you don't like the pace of time, the trade of time, the steps of time, then you have to be really a great yogi and outstrip time. Only a great yogi who can take over time can go ahead for the that. Our being must move eternally through time. Death helps us not. Vain is the hope to see eternally. So we are caught in time. Means you keep on coming again and again. Death helps us not. You go away, but then again you will come back. In time, eternally we will move on. Vain is the hope to see. So your idea that death will bring you freedom, escape from this thing, it doesn't work. That there is something like a moksha, there is something like a liberation, and you go and live there, that doesn't help you at all, you see. That moksha has no value in that case, you see. Death helps us not. Vain is the hope to see. A secret will compels us to endure. So you can't help it. You had to undergo through the process. Compels us to endure. Yes, there are problems. Yes, there are difficulties. Yes, there are sorrows and sufferings and pain and all that. You have to bear them. They are there for your good. Not only sorrow and suffering and pain, but there is falsehood, there is misery, there is death also. You have to accept those things and endure and move forward. Because behind the whole thing, behind this suffering, this misery, this death, there is some kind of a secret will. The secret will has, so to say, imposed it upon you. Now, what is the purpose of that will? Well, you are not aware of it, that is a different thing. But have faith, have conviction, have hope that the secret will is working for your eternal good. That it will definitely bring a positive result to you. It will bring the fruit of satisfaction, the fruit of delight to you in the end. Believe, have that faith, that conviction in the secret will. If that will is there, then nothing can perturb you at all. Nothing can disturb you at all, you see. Now, do I know that there is a secret will working in me? Well, I don't know really. If I go only by my mind, if I go only by my physical or vital instincts, I have absolutely no idea that there is a secret will working in me. I cannot know at all that there is a secret will working in me at all. Now, it is only by going a little inside, going into the depth of your inner being, that your mind gets a sort of an inkling, an idea of that secret will working in you. Yes, there is a Purusha within me, there is the divine Agni within me, and the divine Agni is striving to achieve something for me. If I have that conviction in me, then you are safe, then you can carry on further. Then in that case, you will really endure all the difficulties. If you are in touch with that inner will, inner being of yours, if that Agni is there with you, then you will be really able to bear all the difficulties, this pain and this suffering in this mortal world and all that thing. Will to compel us to endure. If you are not there, well, you have to do that thing. But then if you are open, there is no problem. Then you are carried forward easily. See. Our life's repose is in the infinite. Our life repose is not in death. That you cease to be from here, go away from here. No, that won't help you at all. You have to be here. And the only way by which you can have proper rest, you can repose comfortably, is in the infinite. In the infinite. How will you get that thing? How will you repose in the infinite? How will you understand that you are in the infinite? If you are in touch, in contact with the secret will which is working behind you. If you know that there is a secret will, and if you are in contact with it, if you have some kind of an inner conviction, inner faith, the faith of the future, the knowledge of the future, if it is there within you, then your happiness is always there, that you will repose in the infinite. That is the hope, that is the experience. It cannot end. Who? It? Life. Life's repose cannot end. Its end is life supreme. Its life supreme. Its end is life supreme. That is the assertion. That is the message of Savitri. What is the message of Savitri? Yes, there are 1,000 difficulties here. Yes, there are 1,000 problems here. Yes, there are hostile forces working here. Yes, there is falsehood here. Yes, there is death here. But that should not really disturb you at all, because there is a secret will also working here, and you have to be sure of the secret will, because it will lead you ultimately to life supreme. Now this is the only phrase, life supreme, which appears in Shivananda's literatures. Life supreme. Elsewhere he always writes life divine, life divine, life divine. So, divine here stands for supreme, you see, obviously. Life supreme, that is the greatness of life. In fact, that is the entire message of life. Don't dismiss this world. Don't disdain this creation. Don't abort this life here. Its end is ultimately the life divine. And that is the poem Savitri was asking. Savitri is staring to death. Look, 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 all these things are there, but ultimately where is this going to go? What is the purpose of this creation? Where is this evolution going to lead you? Savitri tells Yama, death, life divine on earth, that is the ultimate script, that is the ultimate message, that is the ultimate will of the Supreme in this creation. And then Savitri herself gets that boon from the Supreme Himself. Transformed death gives to Savitri, yes, yes, you can go back now to the earth with your Satyavan, and with that you will establish your life divine. That is the boon Savitri gets in Book 11, ultimately. From the Supreme himself he gives. Supreme, who? Who is the Supreme? Death, who was appearing in front of her as a hostile power, as an antagonist. It is that death which is transformed in an occult way into the Supreme. Means Savitri does not see now that hostile figure of death there. She sees in an occult world the Supreme Himself having assumed that form of death here for a purpose, to take you forward. And Savitri has made that divine, that Supreme, by cutting a door through the void. See, Savitri has cut the door through the void. She is not going up like that and meeting there like that. She is cutting through the nation, through the void, and then seeing behind this void the Supreme Himself. It is the Supreme who has created this void, this shunya, and it is through that she is seeing the Supreme Himself now. Behind this void, who is present after all? The Supreme Himself. You remove that veil, and behind this void you see the Supreme Himself. So Savitri is seeing behind this void the Supreme Himself. That transformed vision of Savitri is telling her, yes, you can now go back to the earth with your Satyavan, and there will be life divine. Here, its end is life supreme. That is what it says, you see here. Its end is life supreme. Death is a passage. Well, this is exactly what has happened. Satyavan must die because of that. Satyavan has to die. Unless Satyavan dies, death cannot become a passage, to reach that state. Savitri has put a door through the void and go to the Supreme and attain that status. Death is a passage, not the goal of our walk. Some ancient deep impulsion labors on. Well, this is another way of saying there is a secret will, and the secret will is at work. The secret will is at constant work. You are not aware of the secret will working in you, but some ancient deep impulsion labors on. It eggs you on, takes you forward. Our souls are dragged as with a hidden leash. So you have got a leash and then you are carrying the dog or your animal or your pet with that leash. In that way, you are being taken forward. Our souls are dragged with a hidden leash. So it's a beautiful leash. It's a happy leash, and you are happy that that leash is there with your soul, and that leash is taking you to the life supreme. Where is that leash taking you ultimately? That hidden leash is taking you to the life supreme. That hidden leash is taking you to the life supreme, you see. And dragged us with a hidden leash, carried from birth to birth, from world to world, from birth to birth. Yes, we come again and again to make progress. So each birth here, it means that we have added something in our soul, to our soul, and we have made progress repeatedly. So you take a birth, you acquire some merit in this life, acquired merit, what you would call in Indian philosophy, punya, that is merit, some virtue you acquire here, that becomes a part of your soul, and that becomes a permanent part of your soul. Nobody can snatch it away from you. That acquired value, preciousness which is there within your soul, that is your property and nobody can snatch it away. So every time you come here, you keep on adding little bit, little bit, like you keep on adding and keep on accumulating more and more treasure. That is how you will progress. Of course, that is the slow human progress. Man is not aware of it, but he does make that little progress here. People who have some consciousness, who have some awareness, they may acquire more punya, more merit, more preciousness in this life and make progress, go faster. Otherwise, by coming here itself, consciously or unconsciously, you are adding a bit to that merit of your soul and it is making progress. It is not here for nothing. It has definitely acquired something. See, like that, you see. Carried from birth to birth, from world to world. You see, birth to birth, yes, I come here again and again I come to this mortal world. From world to world, from the world of life, from the world of physical matter, from the world of spiritual life, all the world of gods, world of Gandharvas, world of angels, through all those worlds I keep on ascending all the while, you see, come completely. Gandharvas, you see, there are any number of worlds like that. Apsaras are there, heaven is there, word of Indra is there, see like that. Some word of Vaikuntha is there, of Vishnu is there, word of Vishwa is there, Kailash. So you keep on going from word to word. Now you go to word of Vishnu, or you go to the word of Shiva, or you go to the word of Brahma. Well, you have acquired something, but then that is not sufficient. By simply going to the word of Kailash, that is word of Shiva, well, you have acquired something, but then that is not the end, that is not the fulfillment, that is not the terminal point of your soul. Your soul has to come back here, and ultimately it must acquire life supreme. Not Kailash, not Vaikuntha, but life supreme. That is the entire thing, you see. Carried from birth to birth, from world to world. Our acts prolong after the body's fall. You may give up your physical body, but that does not cease, that does not stop your progress, that does not terminate your action, your involvement. Our acts prolong after the body's fall. It goes on like that, you see. Because you are moving from world to world, you are acquiring something. See, when you leave your body, then the physical goes at one place, the vital goes to the vital world, the mental goes to the mental world. But then at the same time, whatever has become a part of your soul remains with you. The part of the mental which has become psychicized becomes a part of the psychic being. The part of the vital which has become psychicized becomes a part of the psychic being. The part of the physical, you do physical exercises, you really feel some kind of a chaitana there, some kind of a divine presence in the physical, that becomes a part of the physical psychic being. and now this is your permanent asset. You are playing music. You have identified so much with your music or with your painting or with your hobby that the skill which you have acquired becomes a part of your psychic being. You are a poet. You remain a poet life after life. If it has become a part of your psychic being. Buddha speaks of the hand of whichever, no. She is playing here and it enters into the other hands and starts working like that. Automatically, the whole skill is there required like that. So when you see some great musician, great artist, see, it is not that they have acquired now all that kind of a skill. They have carried forward, brought forward the skills which they had acquired in the earlier life. And it is on that they build up. When somebody is playing tabla, Zakir Hussain, you see the way his fingers and hands are moving, absolutely terrific, the percussion and all that. See, it is not that he has acquired here in this life, he has inherited that thing as a part of his earlier existence here, and that has become a part of his psychic being, and the psychic being is now playing through his physical at the moment, you see. He is not aware of it, but it is happening. See, it is constantly happening, you see. Carried from birth to birth, from world to world. Our act, why all these things being carried? Because ultimately you militarize that thing, you psychicize all those things, and that becomes your punya, and that leads you gradually, slowly to life supreme. The aim is fixed, life supreme, to create harmony, to create vision, create beauty in art, in expression, choreography, whatever it be, painting, poetry, whatever it be, and that becomes a part of your psychic being. See, we always say, this is a common phrase, he is a born poet. Yes, unless you are a born poet, you cannot really write poetry also. In other words, you have been doing that kind of a poetic tapasya through the ages, through your earlier life, and that has gone into your psychic being, and that is coming forward and expressing. So, man, when he is born, he is not really born like an empty slate. He is not tabula rasa. He is not broad. He is not a tabula rasa. That is what the Greek philosophy says. Tabula rasa means an empty slate, a blank slate. Aristotle speaks of tabula rasa. No, it is not that. You have already acquired something in your previous birth that becomes a part of your being, and it is that which is coming into existence. So you are not really born tabula rasa, and you are not going to leave this world by cleaning your slate and going empty-handed. No, it is not that. You are not come as a tabula rasa. You are not going to go away with an empty bag. You have come with a bag with some precious stones, precious jewels in it, and you are going to add something to your bag and enrich that bag and take it forward. Like that. No? So we are here. So if you really psychicize your Savitri, then that psychicization of Savitri will be permanently with you. You will start reading Savitri immediately in the next birth. Like that. You have to keep on psychicizing, making a part of your psychic being, whatever it be. So actually the association with a world like this of Savitri, see, it means that you are really trying to making it a part of your psychic being. And when it becomes a part of your psychic being, that Savitri is permanently with you. No death can snatch it away from you. No death can snatch it away from you. So our effort, our endeavor, our tapasya, whatever you want to call it, has to make that thing as a part of our psychic being. How? Well, you can do by painting, you can do by music, you can do by writing essays, whatever it be. Get constantly engaged in one way or the other with it and try to imbibe its spirit and let it enter into your psychic being constantly. Then you are absolutely saved. Psychic being, Savitri, Savitri, oh Savitri, lean down my soul and kiss me while I die. That is what Satyavana is. Savitri, Savitri, oh, he is in the lap of Savitri. He is about to die, and his last wish is, Savitri, Savitri, oh Savitri, lean down, my soul, and kiss me while I die. Now when he is saying Savitri, Savitri, oh, he is uttering it 3 times. Savitri in the nether world, in Patal, in the lowest world of this creation, in the nether world, lowest, neither land, neither world, Antariksha, in the mid-world, Savitri is there. In the higher, oh Savitri, in the transcendental. When he is uttering 3 times, he is covering all the 3 worlds, the nether world, Patal, the hell or night, what you call it. Yes, Savitri is present there. Yes, Savitri is present in the middle world. Savitri is present in the highest world. When she leans down in you, then you are absolutely saved. Savitri, Savitri, oh Savitri, lean down. He is asking her to come down and be a part. Let it be a part of your psychic being. Lean down and kiss me. Put your stamp on my soul. Kiss me. Put your stamp on my soul. Affirmation of that thing. While I die, while I give up my body. Then you are absolutely safe. Then really death does not appear to you, because that becomes a part of your permanent psychic being, and wherever you go there, it is always there with you, see. The old perpetual journey without no silent peak is found where time can. This is the line which we had done last time. No silent peak is found where time can. Silent peak. I told you this is a direct reference to Keats's sonnet on seeing Chapman's Homer, the translation of Chapman's Homer. When Keats read that thing, because he does not know Greek language and he is not aware of what is there present in the Greek literature, when Chapman's Homer in English translation appears, and when when Keats reads that thing, then the whole world of Greek literature opens out to him, and then he sees, oh, a new star has come into my view. In this, the way the astronomer is kind of spotting a new star, in that way, or when the explorers of the New World, the Spanish explorers, when they go to the West and discover America, and at a distance in the Pacific Ocean, they see an island, Darien, the island. When they see an island, they become suddenly jubilant, silent on a peak in Darien. They see through the telescope an island there, and the whole crew becomes absolutely happy and jubilant with that thing. So, that is the kind of a new peak is found. Then you get out of this entanglement, these diagonal lines, you have found a door of escape. It is not the door of ivory gate, it is not the gate of horn, it is not the gate of ivory, it is not the postern gate. You have opened out something from within you, and you have discovered a silent peak to that vision. No silent peak is found where time can rest. But now Ashwapati is looking for that silent peak where the time can go and have repose. This was a magic stream that reached no sea. A magic stream keeps on moving, moving, moving. But because a magic, it does not find its sea. It does not know, it has stopped. This sea, the river is there, the flow is there, but it does not know it has stopped completely, you see. Now, this was a magic stream that reached no sea. Now, stream of consciousness. That is what it means, stream of consciousness. Magic stream, stream of consciousness which is moving forward, and it is the stream of consciousness which is taking you forward. But the stream of consciousness is not aware where it is going to go. What is its sea? Of that it has no idea. Was magic stream. Now, stream of consciousness, he uses, see, we have seen now, ivory gate, gate of iron, postern gate, then silent peak on Durian. Now here, the magic stream, the stream of consciousness. This is fourth reference Shivan will bring here. This refers to, this is well illustrated in James Joyce, Ulysses, the novel James Joyce, stream of consciousness, how he describes through the stream of consciousness all the events. They look disconnected. They don't seem to have any connection at all, and they don't know where things are going to go. They have absolutely no idea. I got a passage here from James Joyce. You want me to read that? Okay. I don't know whether we can make any head or tail, but let us read that. Stranger dreams verily are baffling and unclear of means of, and invite today find fulfillment in all things for man. From Ulysses, his big novel, Ulysses, big novel. That is one of the most outstanding contributions of James Joyce based on stream of consciousness. When the theory, psychological theory of stream of consciousness was given towards the end of the 19th century, then a new type of literature started appearing. And James Joyce, an Irish writer, very famous, very inventive, very creative, something very highly involved. She happened to have a very high opinion about him, James Joyce. And then he says that James Joyce says, a quarter after what an earthly hour, I suppose they are just getting up in China, and now coming out their pigtails for the day. Well, soon had the nuns ringing the angels. They have nobody coming in to spoil their sleep except an old priest or two for his night office. See, that is how the consciousness, all phrases are kind of disconnected, but then they have got their own inner link, you see. An old priest or two for his night office. The alarm clock next door at cock shout, clattering the brains out of itself. Let me see if I can daze of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What kind of flower? The clock is striking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What kind of flowers are those they invented? Like these, the wallpaper in Lombard Street was much nicer. The apron he has given was like that something only. I only wore it twice. Better lower this lamp and try again so that I can get up early. Well, now all these phrases look absolutely incoherent and they are moving pretty fast. They are moving pretty. If you go through all these phrases carefully, there is a kind of a hidden link and a continuity of idea and thought behind all things. But the priest is coming, this is happening, that is happening, 1, 2, 3, 4 clock is striking, the stream of consciousness is moving. The whole novel, a big thick novel, is written in this kind of language, very difficult language like that, you see. So a magic stream, but ultimately a magic stream that has not reached any end, you see. So Sri Aurobindo uses all these references very, very powerfully in Savitri. Actually, if you want to psychicize your Savitri, you have to have a kind of a globality of vision. You have to know all the literary contents of this world and interiorize them. They have to be interiorized, they have to become a part of your thinking and thought and process. They have to go away. Then only this Savitri also becomes enriched like that, you see. This was a magic stream that reached no sea. What a pitiful thing. Life is moving like a stream of consciousness. There is no way of escape, neither the gate of horn, nor the gate of ivory, nor the postern gate, no silent peak from which you can see anything. All gone, gone, gone. However far he went, wherever turned, however far he went, wherever turned. He, of course, stands for Ashwapati. However far he went, wherever he turned. Now, this phrasing of this line, however far he went, wherever he turned, it is reminiscent of Wordsworth's line. I look here, I look there, I find no anything at all. This looks of reminiscent of Wordsworth's line, you see. The wheel of words ran with him and outstream. Always a father task was left to do. So he is doing this. Ultimately, no, this is not sufficient. You have to keep on doing. The wheel of words. Wheel of words, the wheel is a sign of completeness. You see, the wheel is in proper shape, it means the movement can become proper. Wheel. But that wheel is not in proper shape. The beauty of the wheel lies in its completeness. But if the wheel is broken, is not complete, then you cannot really move also like that. The wheel of words ran with him and outstreamed. Always a father task was left to do. Whatever he has achieved in this circumstance, that is not sufficient. A beat of action, and a cry of souls. A beat of action, yes. Beat of action. He is doing something, beat of action, and a cry of soul forever grew in that unquiet world. For whom? In him. For Ashwapati. For Ashwapati. A busy murmur filled the heart of time. A busy murmur filled the heart of time. A busy murmur. A busy I am. Zimar I am. Heart filled again I am. The heart I am. Of time I am. All the 5 feet are I am a feet, you see. A busy mama filled the heart of time. A busy mama filled the heart. What a beautiful line, no? So musical also, you see. And a very simple line. There is nothing complicated. A busy mama filled the heart of time. See the smoothness with which the poetry is moving there. A busy mama filled the heart of time. All was contrivance and unceasing stir. Yes, on trying, unceasing stir. It moves on. 100 ways to live were tried in vain. Do this, do that, but nothing is succeeding. Because the wheel of life works ran, but not moving forward, you see. All 100 ways to live were tried in vain. A sameness that assured 1,000 forms strove to escape from its long monotone and make new things that soon were like the old. So you try to make something new, think that you have made something new, but again the same thing, old repetition. It's the same wine again and again, put in a new bottle. Nothing is new coming out of that thing, you see, all the while. And made new things, and made new things, and made, I am, new things, spontaneous. The soul, I am, well, like Spirit, the old, I am. It's a monosyllabic line, absolutely monosyllabic line, and made new thing. But the spontaneous gives such force to the line, you see. New thing, new becomes absolutely powerful here. And made new things that soon were like the old. A curious decoration lured the eye, and novel values furbished ancient tales. Renewed to cheat the mind with the idea of change. Yeah, well, so all these things are happening as if you are cheating yourself. To cheat the mind with idea of change, as if you have changed things, but they are not really changing at all, the whole thing. The wheel of life. The whole life is balanced in an aspect becomes focused and otherwise neglected. The wheel is without balance. No? A curious decoration lured the eye, and novel values furbished. Furbished, the exact meaning is to restore to freshness of appearance, of good condition. Furbish means to restore to freshness of appearance or good condition. Values furbished, ancient themes, they have been kind of restored back to cheat. So you have restored the old values. To cheat for what? Mind with idea, as if you have changed them. But you have not really transformed them at all. A different picture that was the same. So again, you think that you have changed something, you have achieved something new, but it is the same old stuff. You think you have discovered, you have made new discoveries in physics, But they are not really new in a certain sense. After all, you are kind of repeating the same thing in the same manner. Maybe whether you call this thing an electron or you call this thing a proton or this thing, it's the same thing. It is not really new in that sense, you see. A new discovery comes in a different way altogether. When the classical physics enters into the domain of quantum physics, when the relativity appears, then there is a drastic change. Until then, the new discoveries are not really new. All that was being done is kind of taking a new shape of what was the old. The whole of thermodynamics is redoing on its own, basically the same thing again and again. But the moment quantum mechanics appears, the moment relativity appears, the whole thing is changed. But now again, today, we have fallen into that trap. Whatever we do, well, it is the same quantum mechanics you are doing. You are not really introduced something absolutely new in that sense, you see. You have, in quantum mechanics, you are refurbishing all that is there with you. The same tool, same idea, same concept, you are utilizing in different manner. You are refurbishing it. You have not really introduced a new way. You have not gained any new insight into things. Why it is so that you have not been able to answer like that, you see. A curious decoration eludes the eye, and novel values publish ancient themes to cheat the mind. So we are cheating ourselves today with quantum mechanics and relativity. Yes, that is the ultimate theory, but sorry, it is not that. You see, that is what we think. You see, we are cheating ourselves. Mind. In other words, there is a great hope. There is a great expectation that something will happen tomorrow, and this idea of quantum mechanics and relativity will acquire a new vision, a new formulation will take place, and new discoveries of the physical world will be made. That is the whole. See, you can't leave quantum mechanics. Yes, it has done miracles. Certainly it has done miracles, worked out something wonderful. But you can't say that everything is based on indeterminacy, based on chance, on probability. There is a probability of this happening or that happening. You can't really live on probability. There has to be kind of a definiteness inside. Now that has to come, and we are waiting for that deterministic view of correct knowledge, of true knowledge. We are living the world of quantum mechanics, which is basically a theory based on probability. Probability. It may go this way or it may. What is the chance? It will go, well, the experiment will tell me. I can't tell you beforehand whether it will go like this or like that. I can't tell you. Experiment will tell you. So you have fallen back on something else, not upon your own theory and your own idea. So it has to go. So in a way, we can say, yes, it has done miracles. It has brought wonderful results and all that thing. You have got internet, you have got space science and all that kind of a thing today because of quantum mechanics. But still, it is a provisional theory. The real theory is being awaited. And a new science, the future physics has to discover the true science of it. A different picture that was still the same appeared upon the cosmic vague background. Yes, until now there was classical physics, now you have got quantum physics, only a picture has changed. But ultimately it's the same stuff again in a way. Only another labyrinthine house of creatures and their doings and events, a city with a traffic of bound souls. So we are really in a city where the souls are bound. Yesterday we were bound by classical physics, today you are bound by quantum physics. We are still bound by those things, by the idea. A city with the traffic of bound souls, a market of creation, and her lives was offered to the laboring mind and heart. A circuit ending where it first began. Here you start, you are moving in circle again and again, back and forth. It dubbed the forward and eternal man is dubbed. So as if you are making progress, but you are really circling again, round and round again, the same. Of progress on perfection's unknown road. Each final scheme leads to a sequel plan. So that is the conclusion of all our efforts and all this. We call this thing a final. The ultimate theory, the theory of everything, that is what people say, is quantum physics. Theory of physics says quantum physics is the theory of everything. But that is not really the final. Each final scheme You call it a final scheme. You see, till 19th century, till the end of 19th century, people were happy with the classical. Everything has been discovered. Whatever has to be known about the material world was known. And they said that only little bit here and there is remaining, and they had to be kind of stitched together and organized and all that thing. But the moment relativity in quantum mechanics came, the whole thing collapsed completely, you see. And each final scheme, so that final scheme was thrown out, trashed out, leads to a sequel plan. Yet every new departure seems the last. Yes, exactly. Every new departure seems the last. That's the example we have. Inspired evangel. You see, even in theory, you have got Hegel's life, you have got wealth of the nation, you have got communism, you have got consumerism, you have got all kind of things. They keep on coming and going, but they feel that as a Marxism is the last. They feel that wealth of nations is the last, but they are not. They are kind of provisional things. You have to move on. Every new departure seems the last. Inspired evangelium. Theory is ultimate peace, proclaiming a panacea for all times ill. Yes, quantum physics will give everything. That's the panacea of every ill. You have got headache, you have got diabetes. Quantum mechanics will solve your problems. That's what you think, you see. Ultimate sun is flying, or carrying torch in its ultimate sun is flying, and trumpeting supreme discovery. Yes, that is the victory's banner we are holding in our hand. Quantum mechanics today. I am giving that example again and again. Is the victory banner of today's science, you see. Each brief idea, a structure, but then this is a passing phase. This is a brief idea. It is there only for a moment. Maybe it will live for 100 years, maybe it will live 150 years, but that is not going to be the last. And I am really stunned when very wise people say that the quantum mechanics has come from Satchitananda. Satchitananda. There are people who say, they write big essays, quantum mechanics has come from Satchitananda. Now if it has come from Satchitananda, then it has the value of being permanent. It cannot change then, it will assert itself, but tomorrow it is bound to change, it has to change. It cannot come from Satchitananda, it has come from a very high level of mental intuition. But the mental intuitions are not the ultimate. The ultimate truth is something beyond the mental intuition, you see. Each brief idea, a structure perishable, publishes the immortality of its rule. Well, this is what I have been asserting. Man has been asserting, yes, I have now reached the final goal. I am at the top of the world. I am on the peak of this creation here, and there is nothing beyond that. Every time you keep on asserting, this is last end. The gates of the pillars of Hercules are there, but the pillars of Hercules keep on shifting, move and forward and forward, forward and forward. They are not permanently here only. Tomorrow the goalposts are changed, as you see, constantly. Each brief idea, a structure perishable, publishes the immortal. So that is the kind of a transience of mental creations. This is what we are saying here. It's claimed to be the perfect form of thing, truth's last epitome, time, good and best. Truth's last epitome, times, good and best. Truth's last, that is responding. Epitome, epi, I am. Tome, times, I am. Good and best. But nothing has been achieved of infinite worth. Nothing, really nothing has been achieved. See, you have built up glorious theories and all that thing, but ultimately you can't really change anything. The famous example which I have been constantly giving, you have got a water molecule, you can't make even a smallest change in the water molecule structure. The two arms, OH, they make an angle of 109. You can't change, 104, you can't make it 109. You can't make it 109. You can't make it 109. They are 104, you can't make it. If you make it 109, all the properties of water will completely change. What you have got water will not be of the same property that we are trying. it will be a totally different kind of water. So in other words, we really don't have any control over physical things. You have got a certain understanding of things, certain knowledge, certain information of it, but that information is of not much avail because you cannot bring about any radical change in the structure at all, you see. Any radical structure. But nothing has been achieved of infinite world, a world made ever and new, never complete, piled always half attempts on last attempt, and saw a fragment of the eternal soul. So all that we are seeing is only a small little bit of the eternal whole, Purna. That Purna, whole is Purna. What we are saying is Ansha, bit of it, Ansha, a small part of it. Purna is there, complete whole is there. What you are seeing is only a little bit of it, Ansha. The Sanskrit phrase is Ansha, small bit of it, you see. That whole is there. And saw a fragment, that bit, that Ansha, as the eternal whole. So that little Ansha, what we are seeing, you call it the whole. It is not so really, see. In the aimless mountain, total of things done, existence seemed a vain necessities and a wrestle of eternal opposites. Yes, in a class, antagonisms, close locked embrace, a play without denouement or idiom, a hunger march of life without a goal, or written on a bare blackboard of space, be, or written on a bare blackboard of space. This line, I will call this thing a headless line. The first foot is simply or, I am. Single word, or standing for an am. Written on a dactyl, a bare, I am, blackboard, spondy, or space, I am. So the first foot is or, and I am, written on, a dactyl, a bare, and I am, blackboard, a spondy, or space, and I am. See, that's the miracle of Savitri. See the foot variation which is there in this case, see. Or written. See, or is acquiring extra strength here because that comma. It is not simply or written. You see. Had that comma not been there, then I would not have made it necessarily a headless line. That comma gives enough weight, enough strength, enough weight to the word or written on a bare blackboard of space. That is how one would read that line, you see. A futile and recurring sum of soul. If it keeps on repeating, you have got 10 divided by 3, it keeps on 3.333, goes on endlessly, 3.333, 10 by 3. You can't come to a conclusion at all. 3.333, endlessly it goes on. A futile and recurring sum of soul, a hope that failed, a light that never shone. The labor, I mean that what is that light? The light supreme, which is to be there, it is not there. This mental light which is in your possession, well, that is of no use at all. You have to have a better light than that. A light that never shone, that sun of supreme light has to come here and give its own light here, the supramental light. That light that never shone, that has to come here. It has not really shone here yet, so you don't have true knowledge of things because of that. The labor of an unaccomplished fool, light that never shone, means the supramental light is not there. Unaccomplished foes, consciousness foes, Chit Shakti foes, tied to its acts in dim eternity. There is no end or none can yet be seen. Well, life is struggling, life is doing something, life has entered into matter, struggling and all things, but there is no end or none yet can be seen. There is no end. It means that you are assuming that there is going to be an end. You are assuming that there is going to be an end. There is no end. When you say that there is no end, that you are assuming that there is going to be an end there, you see. But sorry, it may not be there at all, because the end is not seen. Or none can yet be seen. When the end cannot be seen, you cannot talk of the end. You cannot talk of the end. Or none can yet be seen. Although defeated, life must struggle on. Defeated because she is checkmated at every moment in an action. She is checkmated at every moment. Although defeated, life must struggle on. Well, that is her character. She is not going to give up. She may get defeated, she may get defaced, she may get ugly and all that kind of thing, but she is not going to stop. The whole character of life is to be active, to be dynamic in her own way, and she is not going to give up things at all, you see. Life must struggle on. Always she sees a crown she cannot grasp. She sees the big victory crown there, but she cannot grasp. Her eyes are fixed beyond her fallen state. Well, in other words, there is something. She knows that she has fallen into matter. She has been overpowered by death. When she is overpowered by death, means she is under the sway of falsehood. When she is under the sway of falsehood, she cannot see what she has to go. Her eyes are fixed. Yet there is something within her. Her eyes see something distant there, up there. Her eyes are fixed. Her eyes are fixed. I am beyond. I am her fallen state. All her I am here in this line. Her eyes are fixed beyond the fallen state. There quivers still within her breast and ours a glory that was once and is no more. A glory that was once and is no more. Yes, there is something still present in her breast, in our soul also. Well, he says ours, he is including fortunately us also, because it's part of life. There quivers still within her breast. There quivers still within her breast and ours a glory that was once. And why is it including ours? I can understand there quivers still within her breast a glory that was, because she has fallen here. Therefore, one can understand why he is talking, while he is talking, but why is he including ours? Why the poet is also adding ours to this life. Life has fallen, she is helpless, she cannot do what she wants to do. Ours, because our souls have opted to plunge into this creation. Our souls saw an opportunity for something. They were happy in the upper world, in the higher world. Our central being up there, Jivatman, is always there up there. But then it saw something, some kind of an opportunity, some kind of a glory in this condition here. And therefore it is jumped into this one. It has plunged into this creation out of a curiosity whether this darkness can give him another happiness. Our soul saw an opportunity to discover new happiness in this creation, and therefore it also plunged into the darkness. And therefore our glory which was there, she has included life and ours, because our souls have also jumped into this mortal creation here. There quivers still within her breast and ours a glory that was one and is no more. Or there calls to us from some unfulfilled beyond the great nights unrailed by the halting world. We have fallen, we are not able to move at all. But then there is something within us which gives a call, or there calls to us from some unfulfilled beyond. The beyond is calling this fallen thing, this fallen life, fallen souls which are here. Something is calling them, and then that calls to us from some unfulfilled beyond a greatness yet unreached by the halting world. Why? What is that call for? Yes, you have come here for a certain kind of another greatness. You are great already here, but you wanted to see another kind of a greatness in the mortal world, and therefore it is that which is pulling you up. Means it is a double process. You have fallen into this one, you are trying to get something of this one, but then there is also some uplifting hand to take you forward. Greatness yet unreached by the halting world. By the halting world cannot reach that. In a memory behind our mortal sin. In a memory, our souls have that memory. You have come from that Jivatman. You have plunged here, this world here, in a memory behind our mortal sin. A dream persists of larger, happier air. That is why I come here. The soul had taken a plunge, saw an opportunity to discover new dimensions of itself, and therefore it saw a new dimension, a dream. So that was the dream on the basis of which it has plunged. A dream persists of larger, happier. You are happy, but then you want a larger. What do you mean larger, happier? Larger means, yes, you are there in Jivatman. You are happy, you are eternal, you are imperishable there. But then that is a kind of a frozen condition. You are stuck with what you are. You can't expand, you can't flourish, you can't grow, you can't multiply in myriad dimensions. You want newer and newer riches of the spirit to enter in you, which are not possible. They are typal, they are fixed. But when you enter into mortal creation, there is a possibility of continuous growth and expansion and flourishing. And it is that for which you have come here. Hearts of joy and love. Dream persists of larger. That is why it means larger. You are happy, but you want larger happiness, of growth, of expansion, of nourishment, of flourishing. A dream persists of larger, happier, bringing around free hearts of joy and love. When can that happier air come? When you breathe, when your hearts are free of joy and love. Forgotten by us, we have forgotten that thing. Immortal in lost time. You are immortal, but you have forgotten when you have come into this time, you see. So, he is now elaborating on this thing, and ours. What is happening to our souls? Well, the same thing applies in a way to life also. What is happening to a soul? Same thing happens to life also. In a memory, so life has that memory that she has come from that world. In a memory behind our soul, mortals, and a dream persists of larger, happier air, breathing around free hearts of joy and love, forgotten by us. So that ours is elaborated here. Immortal in lost time. You have lost that thing in time, but you are still immortal. A ghost of bliss pursues her haunted day. Now it's coming to life. He has described what is ours, now it's coming to life. A ghost of bliss. Yes, she has come from the world of bliss, but it looks like a ghost now to her here, in this condition here. A ghost of bliss pursues her haunted depths. Yes, haunted. For she remembers still. See that memory is your soul. Now life also has that remembrance. For she remembers still, though now so far, her realm of golden ease and glad desire, her realm of golden ease. She was there up in her own world of golden ease and comfort and happiness, golden ease and glad desire. Whatever she wanted to, there was a kind of happiness. And the beauty and strength and happiness that were hers. And the beauty and strength and happiness that were hers. And the beauty and the beauty and strength to an happiness. And happiness, spirit that were hers and anapist. So I got three anapists here. And beauty and strength and happiness that were hers, you see. What a line, you see. What a long line. And the beauty and strength and happiness that were hers. See, the poetry suddenly taken up to a different level. The inspiration is really saying, yes, the beauty and strength and happiness that were hers. See, with that line, the realm of golden ease becomes stronger, becomes more powerful, because the beauty and strength and happiness that were hers, that is what the realm is, and glad desire, the sweetness or glowing paradise. She was there in that sweetness of glowing paradise. In her kingdom of immortal ecstasy, yes, immortal ecstasy, she was there. And there is a remembrance of that thing halfway between God's silence and the abyss. Where was that world of life? That beauty and glory and that immortal happiness, where? Between God's silence and the abyss. God's silence and, well, I can understand the abyss. God's silence beyond Satchidananda. God's silence beyond Satchidananda. So she is somewhere in between that absolute and the abyss. In words, she is coming from consciousness force. Her realm is consciousness force of Satchidananda. Beyond Satchidananda is God's silence. God's silence, the non-manifest supreme. God's silence means God, non-manifest, the absolute, the perfect, the alone has called out of his silence, out of himself. The silence, it is that silence. Aditi has come out from that silence and now she is set into action. So the call of the silence is the summoning of Aditi into action. So she is coming, her trace is from that Aditi who has given rise to Satchidananda, the consciousness force. So the silence is belonging to that state of the absolute non-manifest. The absolute non-manifest. Between God's silence and the abyss. This kingdom, halfway. So see, well, he says halfway, but it is really very far away. Well, in a way it is halfway. Down below into the void, the abyss is there. And up there is another kind of an abyss, the absolute. And between these two, somewhere there is this life here, this Satchidananda. I will say it is not really halfway, it is more in the upper than in the lower. It is more in the upper than in the lower. But she has come into cosmic manifestation. Because she has come into cosmic manifestation, therefore it is halfway. Into cosmic manifestation, it is halfway. Halfway between God's silence and the abyss. This kingdom in our hidden past we keep. Well, we are not aware of it, but it is present in us. This kingdom in our hidden past we keep. Away to a vague and mysterious appeal, we meet a deep, unseen reality, far truer than the world's face of present truth. We are chased by a self we cannot now recall. We are chased by a self we cannot now recall. But then there is something within us which is prompting us, which is prodding us. Look, you have to move on, you have to move on. You don't know what, there is something. We are chased by a self we cannot now recall, and moved by spirit we must still become. I think we'll stop with that. This knowledge of our hidden path, what a description, and it moves in many directions. In one sweep he goes here and there. So the only great thing which can happen to us is psychicize Savitri. Let it become a part of your soul. You don't have to then understand anything. Savitri will explain to you yourself everything. Psychicize. Psychicize, that's the only way. And I don't know how we are going to do that thing. But I think we are trying, we are struggling in our own way. And that is enough. As long as you are doing that, you stick to that, you see. So ultimately, if you want to carry Savitri with you, you have to have that aspiration. But ultimately, it is Savitri herself which will carry you. When? Savitri herself which will carry you. You had to do something. It has to be a double process. You had to struggle, you had to really pray and worship and do some part of your own thing. Then she will start entering more and more in you. It's a double process. It's not that please come and live here. You have to also keep on constantly preparing and offering ourselves more and more to her, you see.
Apsara.
Apsara.
What is an apsara?
Apsara, well, I mean, they belong to the paradise, Indra's Apsara. You see, it is a over mental world, highest over mental world, heaven, over mental, yeah, of the Puranic type. See, Gandharvas, then musicians and angels, all them belong to various. In fact, there is a whole hierarchy after that.
This is higher vital, no?
Well, it has a certain element of spiritual mind in it.
Also.
It has a spiritual mind in it. It has a spiritual mind. The word Swarga, what we call Swarga, you see, the common heaven, Jannat, you see, it is that you call it. Jannat, you see all glorious things and all that. But then that is a trap. Then it is a trap also. You fall into Jannat, if you go to heaven and remain there, you are stuck. You are not able to make progress, you see. You are stuck there. And that is a great temptation which has to be avoided. If you want to go beyond your mind, in fact, that is the kind of a test to you. It is a kind of a test to you whether you are really up to something, whether the urge is deep enough in you. See, this is what happens. You are doing great tapasya, great sadhana, great all that. Then the temptation comes to you. You fall into that temptation and you lose everything. You lose everything. Now that temptation is sent in the Puranic stories in India. That temptation is sent by Indra. Indra is kind of afraid that he will come and occupy my seat by your tapasya. So he sends Apsara, he sends some beautiful girl or whatever it is, and then you fall prey to that thing. This is what happened in the case of Vishwamitra. That is a famous story of Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra, his tapasya was extremely powerful and all that thing, and he had full control with everything. But there was something in his vital, and Indra capitalized on that weakness of the vital, and he sent an Apsara to him, Menaka. And then, finished, matter is over. He had a relationship with her, he got a child with her, and then everything was forgotten. But then there is something again in him which arose in him, and he threw away everything. He started doing tapasya again. See, the Puranic story says, Vishwamitra did tapasya for 60,000 years. 60,000 years. He did tapasya for 60,000 years. Now it means that from life to life he has been adding to that penance of his and building up his own things so that it gets kind of purified. So that is the way by which they were making. So these temptations are there and they are kind of deliberate. Whether you are satisfied with that or whether you want the real thing. Now, how do you know that you really want something better than that? Or you are happy, I see beautiful worlds, creatures, happiness, joys, everything, and I can always go and live there. Now, I should have discernment that this is not a temptation for me. That I should be able to really go beyond that and discover my real thing. I should have some kind of a discernment. Who is going to give you that discernment? Not by your faculties at all. It is only your inner being. Your psychic being will tell you, look, this is a tap. Don't go there. Move forward. So if you are, Shivandu's Savitri, Shivandu's yoga, mother's insistence is your safest journey lies with the help of your psychic being. Catch hold of your psychic being and it will never mislead you. So even if you are offered 1,000 temptations, 1,000 awards, 1,000 prizes or whatever you want to call them, even if you are offered them, psychic being, sorry, well let me accept, but I am not going to get stuck with that. My psychic being wants something definite. So it is not going to disdain or discard all those things. It will take all those things, but then it is sort of enriching itself more and more of it, you see. So Mother says the safest thing to you is discover your psychic being and go by the guidance of your psychic being. That is what the best thing that can happen. See, people do Kundalini Yoga, people do Hatha Yoga, people do Raja Yoga, but ultimately there is safety in that. How I really reach the ultimate of it, of that kind of thing. You discover passive Brahman. Shankaracharya discovered passive Brahman and is happy and finished. But then he got stuck with that because his psychic being did not come forward and tell, sorry, this is not the ultimate. You have to also discover new dimensions of existence here, of spirituality. That did not happen in that case. So the real discovery of the integral yoga of Shivandu and the mother is the play, the prompting, the guidance of the psychic being. Now that is equivalent to the Vedic Agni. The Rigveda insists upon Agni. Who is Agni? It is Agni who has become a part of the psychic being. It is Agni. He is the Amsha. He has seated within. Agni was sent by the gods within you. Sent by the gods within you. In words, it is a psychic being that which is burning within you. Or the Gita says, Mama Amsha, my own bit, my own part is there within you. Hold to that. Instead of holding to that, you are going by your vital desires, by your ideas and concepts and all that thing, and then you get completely lost, you get completely stuck. That won't do at all. Psychic being is the real key for all our true progress and true prospects, and go entirely with the psychic being. So the best thing is, psychicize your Savitri and let through the psychic being Savitri guide you to the highest possibilities of your spirit and your soul. It will tell you. Until then, I can't really mentalize. I can't really imagine what I am supposed to do here, you see. Why I am here for, what is that I want to express here, what new dimensions I have to establish here. It is only that your psychic being, when it is in contact with that, will tell you and guide you. Now that is the life supreme. That is the life supreme. That is life divine, you see. Yeah.